Here we go. All ones.
Thanks for sliding in, chummers. Today we'll be talking about stereotypes. And that stereotype is why some Drekheads out there think us orcs and trolls are not as smart as the rest of meta-humanity, and why that preconception still exists in this day and age. Much of the stereotype stems from the second wave of unexplained genetic expression, or UGE, as unlike the first wave of UGE, where elves and dwarves were born to human parents, the second wave of UGE, called Goblinization, affected more than just newborns. Goblinization caused massive bodily changes in some human children during puberty. These changes did not happen slowly in the womb like the first wave of UGE. These changes caused a massive strain on their bodies. If you thought growing pains were Drek, just remember many of these norms who changed in high school often did not survive the process. As you may imagine when you look at the horns of a troll or the thicker bone structure of an orc, their skulls had a lot of reshaping to do during Goblinization. This caused many of the norms who changed to have brain damage. I want to point out that back in those fear-drenched days before the Night of Rage, many metahumans were lucky to even be allowed into an emergency room, let alone be seen. Many of these newly goblinized were suffering from untreated brain damage caused by their change. If you couple this with the news outlets of the day comparing the newly goblinized to the likes of creatures in D&D and Tolkien, you can see where the preconception of orcs and trolls not being as intelligent as the rest of meta-humanity started. Even though most folks today do not have to worry about the dangerous effects of goblinizing after birth, as they did in those days, this preconception of lesser intelligence has persisted, despite the many tests experts have conducted which have proven all meta-humanity are born with the same mental capacity. But sadly, prejudice is a hard thing to kill, and many of the societal structures we have created have prevented the goblinized from getting a proper education or fulfilling their full potential. This has forced many of these stereotyped into so-called Trog jobs, such as bodyguard or manual labor that involves heavy lifting. So remember, when you're putting together a runner team, all us Trogs out there are capable of doing more than just the heavy combat in the shadows.